Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday Whips, and you join me on a lovely sunny day, a tad cool, hence my Icelandic jumper, but lovely and sunny, and I've actually been out and done a bit of Christmas shopping, even though it's still only November. However, Christmas seems to come early. So, what have I been doing? Well, I've done quite a lot, actually. I have finished the fairilse stash busting jumper. Look at that, and fantastic, and it's got a plain sleeve. So I'm really pleased with this, really dramatic effect. So this has taken me some time. I've been doing it off and on in between other projects, so I've used lots of different yarns. So a lot of it is felted tweed, but the dark blue is Moordale from Rowan. There's some hand dyed and hand spun yarn from Berwick. There's some stuff from a company called Pigment Apply, hand dyed. There's some from Coastal Colours, which is another company that hand dyes things. And there's probably some other things in there as well. So it's going to be a nice jumper to remind me of lots of places I've been and lots of places where I've purchased yarn. And a great way to use it up, because with one skein of wool you can't do a lot of, apart from make hats. And excuse me, there's only so many hats you can have, even though your name is Woolly Hat. So there you go. So rather excited about that. So, and I have been wearing it a lot because it's a nice sort of sloppy Joe kind of jumper to wear in the house or even outside. So what else have I been doing? I've been doing a hat. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab, and this is a pattern I found in the knitting. It's come out a bit small, so I might do it again and do bigger needles. But we'll see. I'll see what I'll try it on. But yeah, so that's quite a nice pattern. That it fits nicely at the top as well. I suppose some people advise you not to do cable when you're doing variegated yarns, but it's quite a light variegated yarn, so I quite like it. So that's that. That'll be a present for somebody. And I've also, in between all that, been carrying on with my nearly lost a needle. I have actually lost a needle. I think it might be down the side of the sofa. But this is the sock done with helical knitting. So it's basically 3 different balls of wool, and you go round in a spiral with each one. So it's kind of an interesting effect. So the yarn I'm using, there's a plain yarn, West Yorkshire Spinners, signature 4-ply, and then there's the leftover yarn from 2 balls of wool from the Yarn Badger. So they're self-striping. So that's why you get that nice effect there. So it sort of extends the stripes and mixes them together. So I quite like that. So that's one sock. So when I finish that, I've got lots. What am I doing? I've got some little Christmas presents to do, little key rings and things like that, and nothing big. But I've also got Mr. W to do this lovely yarn. I bought this at Yarndale, and it's from Mothy and the Squid, who I use a lot. It's called Cock of the Rock, which I thought was most suitable for Mr. W because he is Cock of the Rock, and it's super washed merino with nylon, as with all, many sock yarns are. So certainly Mothy and the Squids are. So that'll be interesting to see how that one comes out. And I've got a little mini skein to do the cuffs, collar, and everything else. So that'll be rather good. So that's there. So plenty to go. I've been having a bit of sort out. For some reason, even though it's just before Christmas, I felt like having a sort out, and I found some interesting things. So before my dear mother passed away, she gave me some of her patterns, and I found this one. Look at that. This is Feminina knitting. Feminina botany fingering wool. It was 2 shillings, I think it was. But it might even have been my grandmother's, so there you go. So you can do socks, gloves, hat, scarf, and fingerless mitts, and a cowl, I think. So it says carefully checked instructions, which is always good to know, because some patterns aren't. See, the writing is very small there. Can you see? Not like today's. And I found quite a few other things. I found this one called Patterns Living Knitting. Look at that. So the archetypal family unit with a father with his little pipe and a boy with a ball, and mother looking on adoringly to both, because that's what mother's supposed to do. But the thing I found quite interesting was, look at this, very almost 60s, isn't it? Look how tiny teeny the pattern's written. I know it's back to front or whatever, but the writing is really small. And I know people complain about patterns today, but these are really quite small and quite complicated. And there's no diagrams to sort of share with you. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So, yeah, there's lots of interesting things. Oh, here, well, another lovely family occasion with some Aran knitting. There you go. Isn't that wonderful? So, yes, there's a lady called Susan Crawford who's got a lot of old vintage patterns, and she's brought them up to date, and she's got a book out. Or she got a book out recently, so I might investigate that. But she has some very nice patterns. Because the other thing about patterns in the olden days is that everybody was a lot smaller. So the maximum bust size for this family sweater goes up to 40. So if you look at a lot of the Rowan patterns and other ones, they go up to size 50 chest. It starts at 30 and goes to 40. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? We've all got a bit bigger in our older age and as we go. There we go. Look at that nice party dress there to do. Wouldn't you like to knit that? And along with a very cool chap there. All he needs is some shades, really. Anyway, so that was that one. And then the other one, which is more recent, is sort of an Icelandic one. And look on the back, there's almost a Lady Di thing. You can tell when this was done. So again, I think this was the 80s when I remember when I did my first Icelandic jumper, and it was all very much in vogue then. And there you go, look at that. That is 80s, isn't it? I mean, it's quite nice, apart from the little frilly collar around the edge. That would drive me mad. And I think the model is very, very, oh, look at that. Almost got power shoulders in there. So, yes, I had some interesting time looking at those there. So, I do quite like that one, actually. So that's what I've been up to. So, yes, so it's now the run-up to Christmas. And it is getting quite Christmassy. We haven't got our decks up yet because we don't do that till December. But we will be doing that because December's very soon. And I shall be doing lots of knitting and crochet, and I shall show those next week. That's all for now. Have a good week. See you later. Bye.